Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 85 of the Top 5 PvP Battles. If you guys want to send in your own clips for the Top 5, you can send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. And starting us off today, we have got Lavallee bringing us some Bomblade right off the bat, putting a huge smack into this yellow group on the flag. And look at this, just managing to escape with a little bit of hit points, and Lavallee not even going for the heal here. Right away setting up the next bombs, got the ultimate ready. A big soul tether into the sap essence, tons of damage coming off of the vicious death set. And Lavallee again just managing to get into stealth, and the Magicka bar looking really frail here. Lavallee actually switching to a different food there just to up the Magicka sustain for that moment, switching back to the damage food, and then going in for the next attempt at this group here. A big bomb again, picking up a few kills, but the enemy players responding quickly. They're fossilized from the Dragon Knight, and Lavallee just taking way too much pressure here, unable to get back into stealth. But so many points for going for the bomb 3 times in a row. Now, next up, we have got some Stamina Dragon Knight by Titan CJ. And he is just outside of this outpost here, picking on these poor red players, right away going for big damage on that guy. He gets a lot of self-healing and a lot of heals from the other red, and Titan quickly finding himself in a very dangerous spot. Big clutch heal off of that Vigor there to save him from the Radiant Destruction. And Titan finds himself behind the tree here, has a bit better position, but still taking a lot of pressure from these red players, just going for some heavy attacks and rotating his defensive skills. Manages to get a good leap on the entire group, just a good defensive stun there, and then back to working this tree, going for the heavy attacks on the sword and board bar, and Titan's just rotating the Vigors, rotating his buffs as well, and just being patient here. He has to get an opportunity to turn and burn. He looks like he's generating quite a bit of ultimate though, so he's got the leap coming up very soon. And Titan just throwing the dots down. He's preparing for this burst here, but a lot of damage again from the red group. Titan finds himself a little bit on the back foot there, taking another nasty stun. He just heads back behind the tree, just continuing to do really good footwork on this group here, making them turn around a lot. And now Titan again puts the dot on top of these guys. He goes for his just sword and board ultimate there, trying to just get some aggression in his defensive ult. But again, he's pushed back on the back foot as soon as the ult comes down. The enemy group is putting out a lot of pressure on him, so he has to be careful how he kind of engages this. And Titan just dotting up the one player here. This guy actually just not really responding to anything. I think he crashed or something. Titan quickly taking him down, tanking out the damage from the other players there. And this guy right away going for the res. Titan leaping on top of him, getting a good stun on him and good damage, but he's not able to stick it out. Lots of pressure from these other red players. And Titan again just dotting this guy up. The Warden coming in from behind. Good little backstep to get behind the Warden's AoE subterranean assault there. And Titan again just getting constantly stunned by these guys. And this player here very committed to the res. Titan's just trying his best to keep a bit of pressure down there while keeping himself alive. And these guys are dumping Dawnbreakers, everything. Titan just getting really good movement around this tree here. There we go. Great stun off of the leap there, hitting every single player. And then following it up with the execute on his target that was going for the res. And the next guy right away committing to the res here. And Titan is just going to keep on working these guys. I don't know why they're committing so hard to this res. Red owns Bleakers, so they can just respawn right by that keep there if they want. But Titan's going to take advantage of this moment. This guy just trying to pick him up. Everybody just trying to go for those reses now. And Titan is getting the opportunity to get very aggressive on this group here. And it looks like that one Templar, or one player there, decides to get out of here. He doesn't want to fight anymore. This Templar trying to escape here. Titan quickly going for the execute, bringing him down. And it looks like the other red player decided that he wants to come back and help. So Titan's going to be dotting up the first player here, but focusing a little bit on the Warden as well. I like how he just dots both targets up. He's just going to look for whoever's going to be a little bit more susceptible to his damage, and the Warden taking quite a bit of pressure there. He goes for his big heal, and he runs away again. And he leaves his friend here to fight Titan, and Titan just putting the pressure on top of this last Warden here. Throwing down the dots on him, keep feeding him the dizzy swings. He's got the leap ready, and he's just waiting for that opportunity. Catches him at the end of the roll there into the Executioner, and down he goes. Great fight. Now for our next clip, we have got Ace628 on the Stamina Nightblade, and he's in a situation that I think we have found all of ourselves in PvP so many times. He's fighting on a resource tower here, against a lot of red, and his friend goes down, and now Ace is all by himself. And you know what? The fight was actually going pretty good for them until that bit of a steamroll happened there, and his friend got smacked by the group. So Ace is going to do what any Nightblade would do in this situation, and that is take the fight by himself as best as he can. So he just goes to the back of the tower here right away, working on this enemy Dragon Knight. The enemy DK actually putting a lot of heals down, and Ace just doing his best to work him with the surprise attacks. He's getting hit by the counter stuns too, but Ace doing a great job keeping this Dragon Knight on the back foot. He always moving behind the DK too, so the DK's having a really tough time just aiming at him with his attacks. And then we got more players coming around the side here. The rest of the group quickly converging, and Ace just goes for a kite back inside the tower here. He sets his shade down at the top, and he's going to wait at the bottom here and see if anybody follows him down, shading back up to the back of the tower here. More of the red players trying to pick up the dead guys there, and there's red players all over this tower. Ace just in full kite mode here, trying to just stay alive and find himself a position where he can put a bit of work into these red. And he finds one guy at the top of the tower here, hits him with the poison injection, big heavy attack into the ultimate, and some huge surprise attacks, the executioner, and that player goes down. He had a ton of hit points, Ace just cutting through him like butter. And now he's going to go back into stealth, kite back around, gets behind this enemy player. Huge amounts of damage with the surprise attack again. And Ace has got the shade at the top. He drops down here, seeing if anybody will follow. One player does, teleports back up to the top, manages to get the bash on the res there, and lots of damage into that Sork. Unfortunately, the enemy Sork just porting away, and Ace did get hit by that nasty counter stun. But he's got this teleport down pat. He again drops down to the bottom to see if anyone will follow. This time, though, when they come down, Ace goes for the offensive pressure on them. And the enemy player right away going for his ward and ultimate to just push Ace away. Ace doesn't want to jump in there with his cloak up, I guess. So he just sets down a fresh shade, waits the ultimate out, and then he's just going to stealth up, get to the side of the tower, gets a great opening on this player there. Unfortunately, oh, there's the stun. Good damage on it, but more players just kind of converging on him there, and Ace just being careful, just being patient. He's going to get back up to the top of the tower here and set a new shade down, and Ace just waits. I think he wants to pull them up to the top of the tower just to see if he can split them up a bit, but look at this, 5 players, 6 players right away on top of him. Ace goes down to the side again, ports back up on the shade, and he sets a new shade down right away. 1 player waiting for him up here. Huge critical off that ultimate into the surprise attack, the executioner, finishing that player off, taking the stun from the enemy player's meteor there, but Ace managing to stick it out. Again, going for that kite and then shading back to the body here and getting a massive combo off on this player as he's attempting to go for that res. Ace right back into stealth. Great damage on this guy, setting him off balance into that stun with the next surprise attack. And the executioner, and Ace has got 3 bodies at the top of the tower here. And he just goes in stealth. Again, just kind of baiting out the reses from these guys. But that enemy Dragon Knight not falling for it, right away going for the counter stun. And Ace is just going to re-stealth. And he sees an opportunity here. Red player doesn't know where he is. Huge damage with the surprise attack. And finishing him on the roll cancel there. And then back up to the top. A lot of these red players have been picked up, though. Ace was gone for just a moment. And he goes for the ultimate on this enemy Sork there. Big damage on the Sork, finding himself low hit points there. But the combination of the potion and the rally right away, shooting back up to full health. And Ace just keeping up the aggression. He wants to kill this Sork. And he just tries to set down this shade there. I think that was a misstep when he fell, but that's okay. Taking advantage of the moment, getting behind this red player there who wasn't expecting him. And Ace manages to pick up another kill on these guys. And his friendly Sork has come and joined him again. And eventually these two end up cleaning up the fight. Of course, there are links to Ace's channel if you guys want to see the rest of that fight. Now, coming up next for you, we have got animation canceling, bringing us a bit of a treat, a dual-wield bow stamina sorcerer. He told me this is a heavy attack stamina sword build. So he opens up at the back end of this blue group that is riding to their keep here. And Annie just going for a bit of a dot up right away on these guys. Unable to put a lot of damage in as the enemy players right away retaliating with the healing ult and everything. Annie getting pulled by the Dragon Knights, change so trolly. But he manages to just tank it out. He's got quite a bit of healing power on this bad boy. And Annie's just great movement here with the streak, splitting the group, making them turn around, and he manages to get himself in a nice position on the rocks here. And I like how he's hugging the rocks. It's because he's aware of that Dragonite chain, and he doesn't want to get pulled out into the open. There, the ultimate comes down right away into the heavy attack, and the execute off the dual wield. And one player goes down. Annie just hitting the bash there, going for just dual wield heavies on whoever he can here, going for a huge amount of damage on that attack, finishing that player off, killing the next player as he tries to roll away with the Steel Tornado. And then Annie going for that next heavy attack into the Dawnbreaker. Lots of damage on this next guy. And Annie just keeps feeding him the Steel Tornado. This guy's moving very fast, so he's unable to hit him even with the AoE of the Tornado. And he's has to keep this other player from going for that res as well. The enemy player just gives up on the res right away. Big heavy attack there from Annie into that Steel Tornado again. And the last enemy player here trying to run away. Annie says no, puts the heavy attack in. There's the Dawnbreaker and the final Tornado. Interesting build and a great fight. And finally, for our last battle, we have got MyTTiX on the Stamina Dragon Knight. And MyTTiX is just chasing down this blue group here, just trying to engage. Gets a dot up on this guy on the horse, leaping on top of him. The enemy player just managing to get in stealth. Actually, I think negating the damage from MyTTiX's leap with the stealth there. And I think that just has a lot to do with leaps targeting being weird at a distance. That being said, MyTTiX manages to get the attention of all the blue players that he was chasing here. And MyTTiX also in a really nice position with these rocks here, having two rocks like that, especially on the hill, so you can get a little bit of line of sight with the height and hide in between the rocks. MyTTiX is going to be able to do some good work here. And he just starts moving around the group. Just lots of positioning here, putting the big AoE dots down into that huge leap. And MyTTiX goes for the heavy attack into the Executioner, trying to bring one of the blue down. But they respond really quickly with the healings powered there. And MyTTiX also has to be very aware of the offensive pressure of this group too. And MyTTiX just finding this guy in a good position behind that tree, dotting him up. There's the Fossilized going for the Executioner, and one of the blue players goes down. MyTTiX paying a heavy price for that, though, taking a ton of damage. Look at how many dots are ticking on him, but managing to get a huge amount of healing power there on the DK. And then just tanking out more of this damage. The enemy group putting in a lot of pressure here. MyTTiX getting hit by that enemy leap, and goes for that big AoE dot up, the debuff as well, into the leap, the Executioner, and another blue player goes down. And MyTTiX just continuing to tank this out. They're starting to panic a bit, going for that res. This enemy player there, unbashable there, as MyTTiX was attempting to stop the res, nonetheless putting enough damage in to finish him off, catching this guy in the roll with the Fossilize. Oh, such a nasty stun. And just like that, MyTTiX has leveled the group. There's one player left and a final blue player that just kind of runs in at the end here. And this poor guy is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. MyTTiX right away going for that dot up into the Fossilize, the Executioner. And there we go, guys. For our last clip, we have got Lavallee again, bringing us one of the best bomb bloopers that I've personally seen. So I hope that you guys enjoy. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, if you guys want to send in your own clips, send them to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. You can also send in builds to be featured on the channel. You can go to KristoferESO.com for a hub for all of my ESO content. Give me a follow on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with my shenanigans. And as always, you can check me out on Twitch if you want to catch that live gameplay. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first month. No credit card to sign up, link down below for you guys. And then last but certainly not least, a big thank you and a massive shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It means everything to me. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. And there we see those beautiful revenge bags. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.